Well, are you considering buying your first home? It's a big decision, and I'm sure you have lots of questions, and doing your research before you buy is the smart thing. Hi, this is Bruce Boyce from Homes and Life, affiliated with homesandlife.com. I've been a licensed realtor for 12 years, and I've worked with a number of first-time home buyers. In this video, I'll be giving you some tips or some steps that you'll need to take in order to purchase your first home. If you have questions about first-time home buying, feel free to ask in the comments down below and I will answer you. So the time has come to make that huge step to buy your first home. Now that you've made the big decision, what do you do next? Well, let's look at some tips or some steps that you'll need to take as you begin this actually exciting journey. So step one, as with any journey, you need to start at the beginning, not part way along. The beginning or starting point here is your finances. Take a look at your whole financial situation, including loans, credit card loans, personal debts, before you even talk to a lending institution. Know where you stand as far as the money in and the money out. There's many free mortgage calculator apps available right now that can give you a rough idea of your mortgage payment amounts. And that may help you as you're sort of looking at your own numbers before you go to a lending institution. There's also options for you to obtain your FICO or your credit score without having to pay for it. A word of caution though, as sometimes a check of your FICO score, your credit score, can show up as a negative on your record. And you'll also need to have a deposit to start the ball rolling, usually 3 to 5% of the purchase price. When you have a rough idea of where you stand financially, then go and talk to a bank or a mortgage broker. I will most often suggest that a mortgage broker is a better choice since they have more options than a bank. Usually a bank has two answers, yes or no. A mortgage broker may have 20 to 30 different financial lending institutions that they can work with. And a good mortgage broker will also keep working at getting approval even if your application gets declined the first time. Having said that, some bank mortgage specialists can be very diligent as well. What you're looking for at this point is a pre-approval for a mortgage. It's like a definite maybe, but it will give you some guidelines on what price range your budget can afford. Occasionally during the process, the bank or the mortgage broker may give you some things that you can do to work on financially to increase your chances of approval. They may say, do this and do that, and let's talk again in a couple months. And also, there are often government incentives or programs to assist first-time home buyers, so make sure to inquire about these. And please remember, even if you have a pre-approval, you should not go out and do things that could affect your credit, such as borrowing for a vehicle or maxing out your credit cards or getting new credit cards. It's important to do this step properly, as it's very discouraging to try to purchase a house and have the bank say, no, we're sorry. Step two, well, now you have your pre-approval for finance. And it's a green light to go and look for homes, right? Well, not exactly. Let's not put the cart before the horse. You need to sit down and determine what is important to you in a home. Is it to be a new home? Or does an older home in good condition fit your budget better? And how many bedrooms and bathrooms do you need or will you need? What about location? Are schools, parks, and other amenities important to you? Once you've roughed out some ideas of what you want in your first home purchase, then it's a good idea to go through that list and prioritize it. Buying a home seems to be a lot of give and take sometimes. So you determine what you absolutely have to have and what it is that you would like to have, but you would give up if everything else works. Step 3, contact your realtor. If you don't have a realtor, ask friends and relatives who they have used as a realtor and interview 2 or 3 of these realtors. Choose someone that you feel you can trust and who will listen to you as they work on your behalf. Then tell your realtor what your ideal home would be like and in what price range. You probably have already looked around online, so you could let your realtor know what you have found and what you might be interested in. The realtor will often make some additional suggestions of homes that may be of interest to you. And when looking at homes, take notes. After a while, the different homes, they all kind of start to blur a little bit. Which one had this? Which one had that? So note the positives and negatives of each home that you view. Now, you do not need to see every home that is a possibility. I have heard of some buyers looking at 40 or 50 homes, and I do not believe that is a good idea. You already have a pretty good idea of what you want, and to view that many homes tends to get confusing. If you absolutely cannot find a home that works for you after viewing 10 to 20 homes, then maybe you need to just adjust your criteria a bit. And also, this may sound strange, but when looking at homes, listen to your gut. Buying a home to live in is an emotional experience, and it needs to feel right to all parties involved. Often, first-time home buyers like to have friends or family look at the home as well with them. And I usually encourage this, as more eyes are better. They will definitely give you their opinion. Just remember that it's your decision whether to buy or not. On to step 3. You found the perfect home. Great. It's time to write an offer to purchase. Now put your realtor to work again. An offer to purchase is a legal document and you want it done right. While deciding how much to offer, have your realtor show you some comparable sales in the area. Similar homes to what you're looking at and what they have sold for. This will help you to determine where your offer should be. And sometimes we see a buyer who will want to try a very low offer, but you should be aware of the balance between a reasonable offer and an insult. If the seller feels insulted, they may not be as flexible. So listen to your realtor's advice. Now, an offer will have subjects or conditions in it, which are usually there for the buyer's benefit. Most frequently included are financing conditions and inspection conditions. Although other conditions, such as a condition for satisfactory review of the condo or strata documentation, or possibly satisfactory review of HOA bylaws and regulations, may be included. These conditions allow the buyer to proceed with the final approval for financing and have a home inspection done without having actually purchased the home yet. On to step 4. Now that you, the buyer, and the seller have agreed on price, conditions, and dates, it's time for you to get to work. The conditions or subjects will have a date that they need to be removed or waived by. Failure to do so will collapse the offer unless alternate arrangements have been made. First thing to do is make sure that the lender has copies of the signed and accepted offer to purchase. They will need this to proceed and to get that final approval for your financing. Next, arrange for a home inspection to take place prior to the conditions removal date. And also arrange to review any condo, strata, or HOA documentation if this is a condition. Your realtor may need to help you a bit with this. If you're not confident in your ability to assess these documents, there's professionals that will review them for you. Just a quick note about home inspections and non-waivers. You are paying for an objective or an unbiased opinion of this home. In the majority of homes, even new ones, they will find some issues. most of the issues will be minor and can be resolved quite easily. If a major issue arises, for example a faulty furnace, then you can either renegotiate the price to allow for the repair or replacement, you could have the seller pay for the needed remedy, or you could collapse the offer by a non-waiver of the inspection condition. Likewise, when we're talking about non-waivers, if the lender decides they cannot provide you with the financing, you will need to sign a non-waiver collapsing the offer. Your realtor will work with you in these situations. Now, step 5, the final steps. When all your conditions have been met and have been waived, you now have a contract to purchase. You're buying a home. Now it becomes a bit of a waiting game as you wait for that big day. There are some differences in various countries as to how the funds pass to the seller. Some places will use an escrow agent as a third party to hold funds, and others will have the transaction facilitated by lawyers. Whichever way it transpires, the home is yours after the seller or their legal representative has received your funds. And now, congratulations, you've bought a home. Before moving in, do a quick walkthrough to make sure everything is as agreed in the purchase contract. Most realtors will want to do this with you. It's also a good time to decide where's the furniture going to go and the decor, and do a call out to friends and family to come and give a hand unloading your belongings into the home. It's a great time for them to help out and to socialize. I'm sure there may be some variances depending on your situation, but I hope this video will help make the experience more enjoyable. It's a great time. So if you liked this video, please click the subscribe button below. More videos to come. Remember, life is an adventure. I'll talk to you again soon.